It is a sobering statistic. Ohio reported more deaths in 2020 than any other year since 1990. And the increase is well above the number of confirmed COVID-related deaths. News 5's Jay Jarvis breaks down the data, looking for some answers.
More than 139,000 people died in Ohio in 2020. That's according to preliminary data released Friday by the Ohio Department of Health. And that number is significant, up more than 17,000 from the average over the last 5 years.
That tells you that more people died in 2020 than should have based on the average of what we know the mortality is in Ohio.
While ODH is still adding deaths to the tally, so far it's reported more than 9,500 of those deaths were COVID related. But that still leaves more than 7,000 deaths above average. So how do we account for those? Dr. Amy Edwards says determining that is a process.
Excess mortality is extra mortality after you've accounted for everything else. And it's going to take a really long time to tease out what all the excess mortality in the pandemic is related to. A good chunk of it is actually going to be COVID.
Several factors could have contributed to that excess mortality in 2020. Edwards believes many people may have died of COVID-19 before testing was widely available. She's also worried about people skipping routine medical care against the advice of doctors.
People who shouldn't have died, but who did because they were afraid to seek medical care. Because the outbreak, was not under very good control for much of the year.
And things aren't looking much better in these first few weeks of 2021.
If you look at the mortality for January thus far, it's vastly outtracking what we normally see in January up to this point.
She says eventually the excess mortality will die out, but how quickly that happens depends on the government.
If we can't get enough vaccinations in 2021, then you'll see throughout all of 2021 excess mortality.
And our personal actions.
If people don't want 2021 to be as bad as 2020, they need to take it more seriously for the next several months until people get vaccinated.
Jay Jarvis, News 5.